Hello everybody who's watching, this is Right Angle Productions and welcome to my first video on the modern beta SMP. So it's about time I do a video on this Minecraft server. I've already done a few streams which you can go and watch the VODs of, but this is a really cool Minecraft server that basically entirely through server-side plugins recreates Minecraft beta 1.7.3 within modern version of the game, which is you can connect with 1.20 or 1.21. It's incredible how thorough it is. As you can see, I don't have hunger bar, just health, and like for example, here's some bread in my inventory that you can't stack. I eat it, just right click, no eating animation, no sound, just adds health. There's textures and everything. But I've been playing on the server for a few weeks now, non-stop. It's a little too fun. But I think now it's time that I finally make a video on it. So here we are in my house. I have some dogs. I actually have 6, 3 others I have not brought home yet at a place that you will see. That is the main thing I want to show you in this episode. This SB is also really cool simply for the fact that it's a public survival server and there's none of that like weird land claiming plugins, because in my opinion those are really awkward to work with. They're just annoying. Instead, the way that it works is every single like block interaction, like if I break this piece of grass, it's been logged, you replace it. For example, you can do co-I and see, there we go. I broke this grass block and replaced it. And apparently 18 days ago, a creeper broke it, which sounds right. I've been ambushed by many creepers around this corridor. And so what they do is if you have something that was griefed or whatever, you just take it to the admins on the Discord server and they will roll it back for you, which I think is much better than, again, those weird land claiming plugins. Oh, and of course, simply just being decent to one another. So when I first joined the server, I just sort of wandered around north of spawn till I found this hill and thought it'd be really cool to build a house here. Ended up discovering that this sort of area is part of the town of Misthaven, which is one of the admin's towns. And he was like, yeah, sure, you can build your house here. And so I did. So far I've invited 2 more friends to join me, and I'm probably going to invite another one later on. So here we are inside. The basement belongs to my friend McShlankiel from that channel. The first floor belongs to my friend Ducky, who I don't believe he has a YouTube channel yet, but I think he plans on making one, and he's going to likely appear in future videos anyway. Here's the second floor, which at the moment is just mine. In the future, I want to try and convince Kitty to join, play on the server as well, and I'll probably also force them to move into this house, in which case they'll probably get like most of the second floor. I'll probably just like keep my furnaces and my bed over here. And then finally, the attic, which is basically just my storage room, kind of. But I could, if anything, I just move my bed and furnaces up here too. I'm perfectly fine with this attic. I like how it worked out. And birch logs are one of my favorite blocks. So that's kind of why I built the top of the house out of that. But anyway, we are going to go somewhere that I've been working on for the past couple of streams. For some prior context though, and now we're here actually in the little town of Misthaven, and there's my house on the hill. There you get a bit of better view of it. So some context is the owner of the server, Carl Troyd, does a weekly YouTube video called Modern Beta Mondays, which is exactly what it sounds like. Every Monday, a video about the happenings on the Modern Beta server. We're going to go towards spawn on the minecart, and in every video he gives a build challenge. So each week there is a build competition, and in the next episode of Modern Beta Mondays, the winner of that competition is announced based on votes on the Discord server. And normally, I am not very competitive with builds. I don't consider myself that much of a good builder, so much as just a guy who builds things in Minecraft sometimes, you know, for fun, a little bit of fun. And, oh, here we are at spawn. We're going to transfer to this line. But I thought this specific build would be great at advertising my shop, which I have not opened yet. So my shop, some viewers may have heard of it. This server is not the first place to have an installation of this shop. I first came up with it in 2018, and I built it in many different servers and single player worlds. And the shop in question is called Walnut. This, however, is not a walnut. This is what my build for that week's competition was. It is the walnut arena. So the challenge was to make an arena, which also came with Carl introducing PvP zones to the server. So normal if you try to, PvP with another player, it's just not going to do anything. But now in certain zones, you can. So as of, I think last night, I can safely consider the Walnut Arena to be finished. Another name for it is the cube, because it is a 60 by 60 by 60 cube. And in the middle is a 20 by 20 hole that goes straight down to bedrock. And this would be better to see during the day. Hopefully someone else can sleep. Oh, there we go. The day-night sequence is really cool. Just goes fast. There we go. Hole down to bedrock. You know what? I'm going to take you to a little special place only area, and a ladder so you can see the view of the arena from above. We're also in the snow biome, so that's why there is random bits of snow on here. Just don't worry about that right now. I should probably turn off clouds. So here's the view from above. I added a circle sort of around the middle, and then this sort of loft where people can sit to watch the PvP action. That's just the interior. It took a lot of work, of course, building these walls and the perimeter, which is all these stone slabs that it looks very weird and misshapen from up here, which I guess it kind of is, but when you're down at the bottom, it makes sense, just goes up to the surrounding terrain. And digging out the terrain to make room for that, and also digging out in here, and digging out to hold down to bedrock. So you can see a bit of that in my previous 2 streams, I think. I don't know if it's just those 2, might just be one of them, but this video, it's taken me this long to get to the point. This video is going to be about me constructing the Walnut Arena. So I've taken a lot of time-lapse footage of the different bits of pieces of me constructing this place and digging out area for me to construct this place. And so let's get into that now. The project started with me laying out where the walls would be and digging the hole down to bedrock. I decided to join the server with my bedrock account and get on top of a pile of dirt so that way it could create this third-person POV time-lapse. Not all of the time-lapses that you'll see in this video are this elegant. Also, this happened. With the hole to bedrock and all the snow in there dug out, as well as the walls that I never got any footage of me building finished, it was now time for me to dig out the rest of the interior and place the snow floors. The interior of the arena was now dug out and the snow floors had been placed. Now for the final major part of the project, digging out and building the stone slab perimeter of the arena. The perimeter was complete, which means it was now time for the very last part of building the arena, the interior. Of course, I only got a little bit of time-lapse footage of me building it, but here it is. After some finishing touches, the arena was finally complete. I gave Viridex a small tour of the place and put in a ticket so Carl Troyd could set the arena as a PvP zone. Speaking of Carl, because I'm great at not completing things on time, the Walnut Arena wasn't finished in time to actually be part of the build competition, and still wasn't complete once it was time for Carl to record that week's Modern Beta Mondays. I had already accepted that the arena wouldn't make it into the build montage, but Carl, being fucking awesome as he is, asked, "Are you sure you don't want me to include what you have so far?" I told him, sure, so long as you're willing to. And so the cube made it into Modern Beta Mondays episode 5 in all of its unfinished glory.
So, mission successful, I think. The cube is now finished, and when people visit, they're greeted with a sign telling them to visit Walnut, meaning the goal of advertising has been reached. So, I hope you enjoyed seeing how some of the Walnut Arena was built. That's everything I have to show for this video. Thank you for watching Right Angle Productions. Bye.